Greetings to all in creation. This is Aurora in creation, live from Galactic Central, Heaven on Earth, Earth Equal Heart, and here with another special transmission. Thanks to YouTube for double identifying the ways in which we post videos, because every time I try to post a video from this area, meaning Woodhaven, in Joe's units they used to cut off my phone, do all sorts of manipulation. In this unit, every video takes around 8 hours to post when it's like a 5-minute video, so obviously like I'm being robbed like to shreds. And there's a lot of like MK Ultra vibes, programmings, etc. I was supposed to be out of this South Carolina zone a long time ago, but I've had to do a tremendous amount of work around here because of the 843 situation. And it goes back to source. My mother's number had 843 code in it. So did my first, love of my life. Michael also had an 843 in his number all the way across the world. And now I'm in this 843 zone, which is codality for full planetary liberation to undo the comatose bind on all in creation. So yesterday I called Bank Audi, which I thank Mohammed to pick up the call that I performed to like the operator at the Ras Beirut general area. And well, they all know who I am by now, of course, and he asked me to double verify my account with my branch managers and Rabia. However, come 2 a.m., since I'm not really in my apartment or in my zone or in a zone, like it's a little bit cold, and I'm a guest here on a futon on the floor in a very, tremendously hostile environment. South Carolina has been, despite the blessings that I always over endow zones with, but it's been very harsh. However, I am very grateful today that I was able to redeem Catholicism. So going back to yesterday, I chose to, try to call him around 2 a.m. at my Rabia branch. And I don't know, just something couldn't get me through to complete the interaction because, first of all the embassies are around like the area and the president's house. Greetings to Sir President Aouna. How are you feeling, honey? Good? What's going on? So are you all in for Aurora Diamond Rainbow Morningstar, the shift you guys wish to see? And why are the Lebanese funds being held from the people? Why do you only allow them $15 a day and $0 if we're abroad? This has got to end, so please kindly give me a call, Sir President Aoun, at 213-509-4572, because I'm ashamed. Like, what do you want me to do? Call the girls at Bank Audi after I've been, drilling their brain with like awakening messages for eons now, going all the way to the cops in LA and forwarding my girls at Bank Audi? It's a tad tricky situation. I mean, how do you want me as a being all the way across the world 24 hours by plane address that situation with my Audi crew? What do you want me to say? And then I noticed right next to everywhere there's like the Turkish embassy, the German embassy, Armenia, whatever, like all these embassies and by the Colina and everything. I hope everybody's feeling well. I love you all so very much. Be blessed, all of you. Thank you so much for standing up for love and the truth and the light. I'm very blessed to have been moved from Tiberias down to Beirut in order for me to be in this, zone of like all these embassies growing up around me where we're very sharp, etc. Now, I don't know. It was like a little bit, I felt like, what am I gonna do? Like be kind of a songsu, like a blood-sucking parasite, like, I know my mother has saved, you know, my inheritance for me, but I, Aurora, mother of new creation, am her provider and caretaker. And if she made it so far and has her own mansion where she stays in the way she stays, that she built with her own two hands, and just she stays there and eternalizes there out of like extreme self-love, confidence, and just extreme faith to God. She read the gospel up until the last second when the doctors Harnacked her. That is her turf. I mean, she raised a little child all along, but I'm no longer. I have been the shift. I have been the shift for years now. How can I make pretend that, you know, like Dima Tabrawi is this needy daughter when I'm her mother of new creation, and I only came to the United States to revive her with a plasma tech that I worked very hard to master and acquire. So there's the catch-22 in itself. So I couldn't complete the call, but I'm trying to work my courage today to call my girls again tonight. You know, provided this is in God's will, at least I just want them to know that, hey, this is me, and, you know, reset my password, and, you know, start to release the funds from like Switzerland where they're being held now by the Sunnite Canadians. This is a very painful situation, very extremely, like, very painful. And I was all about yesterday, like, seeing at some point down in House of the Future, I had a vision while I was healing from my mother's coma after Kuwait. There's a rainbow, and I was walking with my mother, like, up in the sky. Like, it was my galactic team. They helped me a lot with integrational purposes. And then we kind of, you know, she was holding my hand, and then we, you know, we parted, like, it was in the sky, and we were all happy, and we just parted way, like, kind of, you know. I can't come from a position of Aurora, mother of new creation, goddess Archaea, here in service for years, having mastered the plasma laser tech and performed miracles literally, and survived something that not Michael Jackson, not Whitney Houston, nobody can survive being tried to be killed by the Illuminati except myself. So going back and hiding under my comatose mother's skirt felt really absurd last night. Now I know that the monies in there are from my father, but his eyes are all swollen with tears too, and I want to be the one that comes and resolves the situation for these beautiful people. And at the same time, I felt like the whole time, because I couldn't sleep right away when I wasn't able to, like, kind of get through to them, I was like feeling their heart, like, okay, they all wake up, they go to the bank, and they're all in service to me every day, and they're waiting to hear from me. And I'm depriving them from that. However, if I do reach out, I'm not sweetie, and I'm not baby, and I'm none of this stuff. I'm Aurora, mother of new creation. And when they call me sweetie and baby here all day, every day, it's like, how can I come forth as that when I'm being disrespected in my turf here? Like, the whole thing doesn't come together. You know, it's not standing right. And then I have 6 phones now ordered by myself, supposedly, which I don't even have control over because I'm completely hijacked. Completely. So, you know, there's phones in my name in Charleston. Why would I go to Charleston where they stole my biometrics and did this whole nigger slavery game on me? I mean, I'm a woman of honor and of value, and I have self-love and respect. I'm not going to ride a cab 5 hours to the town that treated me the worst on earth and that implemented a curse on all in creation for just like accepting to play with the Russian government to give my biometrics away and create a fake China government from Charleston. You want me to go to Charleston? The most I could do today under such circumstances, at best, was ride up the street to the Catholic Church that give donations of food today And I wrote on the paper, Dima Tabrawi, in brackets, Aurora. Why? Because I decided out of goodness of heart, since I was born under a Catholic household from out of Tiberias this lifetime, out of Judaism, I was born into Catholicism, and they baptized me as Dima Tabrawi, which my priest knows I couldn't even go down the aisle and get communion from him the first time I left the United States to go there. He was the first guy at the first funeral service I went to. He tried to give, and I didn't know yet about, my covenant and Aurora. As my earth timeline, Dima Tabrawi, I couldn't even get up and go to get the Eucharist. I couldn't even approach the guy. However, today I decided to go and redeem the Catholic Church, which I did. I told the people specifically that I'm here in order to forgive Catholicism. And I did. I got the food donation, and I wrote Dima Tabrawi in brackets Aurora, just to make an act of presence in front of whatever the entity they pray to. They pray to someone. They call it Jesus, but that's not God, divine Jesus. God did not come here to create Catholicism. So I made it a point to, because my covenant was signed Dima, and yesterday Father of all creation addressed me as Dima to begin with, I gave it up. I did. Then they try to test me, because on earth, life is never what it seems. Like, if you get a sausage, it's gonna mean that you're going towards someone. So nothing is what it seems. And that's what Billy Hodge tried to teach me. He's like, are you that stupid? When I was like, it's eating food for beauty. Like, if you read Natalie Rose and Gabriel Cousins and David Avocado Wolf and all these, very big nutrition, Gabriel Cousins, etc. figures for like New Age, and why I look eternally so sweet, soft, and young, and invincible, and why I can go for days without sleep, without food, without proper nurture, without ever being loved or hugged, always being on mission within the most strange circumstances all the time, is because I did 7 years of Puritanianism and veganism and fasting, etc. Now I'm having to, go with it, and if there's flour, I'm eating gluten, which is nothing that I, in the highest recommend for beginners, at least on their journey, when they have all their clogs down their intestines. Like, when you're advanced, you can transmute anything into the light, obviously. However, I did the Operation Redeeming Catholicism. I'm back here, and I know my SunTrust is trying to get me to go to pick up a package from within the bank. Wells Fargo called yesterday under Maria, then today it was Nadia. So I'm being bounced around because the masculines aren't very sure of who they are. And I'm always, just like you guys tested me with all your nigger cabal whore fucking bitches, I'm testing you all right back. You should know who is up to snuff and able to undo the horrible crimes implemented on my lineage, my mother and myself. And I am always grateful for whatever it is, the catch-22, great, very grateful. How wonderful it was of Miss Carlson to actually take it upon herself to play that role. When my mother was fed, literally chicken liver is what they fed her. Took her plasma, just put other people's plasmas in there, she crashed. And now I'm being kind of forced into plasmapheresis. Every other day I have to go to another people's house and take in all their family and all their DNA and all their coding, and I have to do it as if there's no tomorrow. And every day I'm being, what is your password again? What is your routing number? What is your wireless number? What is this? Why don't you go get the phones, baby? What do you mean? I'm Mother of New Creation. I'm doing a tremendous amount of work to still be in a body throughout all these circumstances. Who else moves every couple days from place to place and gets niggered again and again, and never paid for my right value and for my service, and always out of funds, always in the cold? This is not normal conditions. Whoever Father of all creation at loveisone.org emailing me yesterday, how do you have the audacity to then just let it go, let me off the hook? Like, you just email, you say you deserve it. Like, are you that controlled by external forces? Where is your fire is what I'm trying to tell the people. What do I do? So then I get my sessions kids from Los Angeles that are also at the peak of their surgery. They get a call from the cabal whores, and then when they go service the cabal whores, then they call me the next day. They go, your session didn't work. Well, duh. First of all, during the session, you're not allowed to take a call, which is what Brendan did too. That's why I'm having all these troubles, because he insisted to cut me off at 6:10 p.m. and call his daughter. Like, that's very impolite. You guys are just taking me and my mom and my lineage and everything we do for granted all the time. And then since Father of all creation fucks every little fucking bimbo I gave a freaking session to, what do you expect? You think my little kids don't want to get fucked by me too? Since Father's setting the wrongest of example, what do you want me to go fuck them all now? I don't fuck my session kids. I don't try to tell them they're Lucifer. Oh, what are you punishing me for? Why? Because I did that on Stephen Thompson. Is that it? What other choice did I have? You sent Amber to terrorize me. Then Andrew called me Dima. And Jonah's like, where's your baby? Why don't you? And then he ran off. And then Russell's like, never hasta nunca. Okay, well, I got another kid. I'm like, I'm going to code him. I'm like, please don't go outside of me. And he did. So my session kid failed at trying to take that route. So now I've redeemed Catholicism on everybody's behalf for full planetary liberation. But otherwise, you guys should know. You guys should know. I don't understand. Whoever typed this message from his heart, where are you? You're waiting for my new phone to be able to call me because this phone is fucked? Great, I am too. What's the matter? What do I do? Because I'm done with the humiliation. What do you want me to tell the girls at Bank Audi? I mean, we work very hard since birth to stand our ground in a country where we speak 5 languages on the streets and we're under constant scrutiny and attack. And it never ended, no matter what we did. And we're the hardest working ever. Why? Because Amber decided to rob me? And then $1 is 17,000 Lebanese liras because you stole my Bank of America because God forbid I wrote Godra 666 as my password, so Callahan stole from me? You know, you gotta give something, like, my way. Like, okay, you put me in a room and restrained me and tied me down because you don't know what else to do with a woman on earth that is enlightened. Bhagwan kept them in a room with a ball of wool, and all they did was roll the wool around their hands and back out. They didn't let Bhagwan touch them. When you get enlightened, you're finished. Then it's love enlightenment, 2 as 1. How do you want me to do 2 as 1 when you keep me alone and in the dark and every day another account closes? You think I'm going to still go run after my accounts every day? No, now I'm talking to source. How do I address my girls? What do I tell them for every day still waking up and still showing up when they've been niggered to that extent for doing nothing wrong?